Alright, opening face-off. First Notiques. Fee Eng, Mike, Justin, and Ernest. Sends out a little weak pass, but Mike says, don't worry, I got it. I will do everything. And they're up on a 2-0 rush, but Mike says, nah, I got it. I'll take the rebound myself, tap it in. One-man show all the way end to end, and we're up 1-0. So after Mike scores his goal, he decides that he wants to stay back all the way. Interesting decision. We got 2 on the forecheck. Usually we want to see a third man at least supporting to put some pressure on, but our right wing Mike says, nah, I've done my work, I've done my job, and stays all the way back. Oh, banana peel for Ernest. And then let's see, back out, and couldn't quite get it out of the zone, and now they're back in, and Mike says, I'll go all the way back behind the net. I don't believe in Ernest to get it. I don't know why. And now it's all discombobulated. Who's playing what? I don't know. Who's left wing? Who's right wing? Who's center? It's a true mystery. Even Hilsden was completely lost on the bench. And then bodies flying everywhere. Mike's went from right to left. Eng's on the left. Everyone's on the left. It's a party. Passes are going haywire. And nothing really came out of that, unfortunately. Here's their speed demon 71. Drop passes, screws it up, and we're out of the zone. Fairly interesting decision making, perhaps. Well, funny sequence coming up. So chip up the boards to Sarah, but then he skates into my stick, and I think it got caught onto his laces, and he goes flying. And he's on the ice still. But the other unfortunate part was that right here, Hilsden sends it back across, and it should be pretty straightforward. Boop, up the boards, and then Sarah's goes and off to the races. Except the only unfortunate thing is it hits the ref skates, and we're back in the zone, so that sucks. Now, part of it is perhaps on me to have just gotten a straight tape to tape to Sarah, and it makes it life easy for her. Yeah, so that's probably a mistake. And then I think we get hemmed in the zone, so why won't you just watch the whole sequence of misery? Net front is okay. Oh, the bounce, but Cliff makes a save. All right. Yeah, that works. Oh, Alex, what happened? Did it bounce? Oh, that's tough. How did it slip under you? Oh, pizza. Oh no. That was a hot. We got a big pepperoni slice right there. It looks so good to if we finally exit out of the zone, but now we're hemmed in one more time. Okay. That was a somewhat of a sketchy potential pizza right there, but the sauce was, we had enough marinara. Some greasy grinding, and some opportunities right there. I think I wanted to point this out for Alex, and I think it's one of his potentially bad habits. Maybe it's okay in this instance, but one of the things I've noticed is sometimes when he reaches in and maybe gets a touch on the puck, he does this turn and stop like this, where he's facing the play, and then sometimes the player does just a little shimmy shake and then changes pace and goes back in. And because Alex turns around like this and he's begun his stopping motion, like his backward snowplow stop, puts him in a really tough position to turn back around, and he gets beat a lot like that. I feel like he should have just like basically ride the wave and then continue the motion down, rather than turning back and forth like that. But that's a small thing. And zone entry, holy smokes, we got the most passive D-man in the world back there. Ernest tries, oh no, Cliff, that was a soft one. Did it hit off Ernest? I don't know. Where'd it go? 5-hole. Oh, sliding? Or is it because you lifted up your stick? Hard to say. I can't really tell, but yeah, a little shot from, didn't look too fast. Maybe he got slightly screened and into the back net. So 1-1 game now. And rewinding, no, I wouldn't blame that one on Alex. It was just kind of like a demonstration of something that he could probably improve on. And I don't think we did anything really wrong here. Maybe the zone entry is a little easy because they just walked in, but there was that kind of slight change of pace here in the middle, and then he came in with speed. So if we could have, yeah, I think this is a goal that Cliff probably agrees that he would like back, but that's okay. And zooming up, little battle here, and then turn around, stick got caught a little bit. Escaped a tripping penalty there, perhaps. Same with me earlier. So I think one of the things we should start considering more and more is if we're getting closed off, we don't have the speed. You can see all these people are closing off Justin, and he doesn't really have a good pass. And stopping up is probably going to cause a turnover. Make life difficult for them. Just tire them out. We're early in the period, and everyone's going to have a ton of energy. You send it down low. Make it even. If you're even able to make it more difficult and do like a lob cross corner dump, where the hopes is maybe Carrie Ann can beat on the foot race to the opposite D, or your basically your hope is your opposite winger can grind it out. Then I think we need to make use of that more. So we may not necessarily have any offense on this particular shift, but it's more of a gamble that if you can wear out their energy now in the first period, then we can start taking advantage of it in the second and third period. So sending it in nice and deep, and then pretend we're chasing after them hard, right? Then they're going to start panicking, and they're going to be sprinting down there to gather the puck, and that's going to make them tired rather than kind of losing it at the blue line there. So that's something as a consideration. Now, we got lucky and came in with speed and was able to carry in the puck, but I think it's a strategy that we can perhaps consider and use more of. And oh, we get a goal here. The fuck. Okay. So puck battle lost. The guy's pretty good. Rims it around. Ernest reads it. Their forward was too high up, and he's just like, hey, let me just snag it. Couldn't quite handle it, and goes for the heavy pinch. And let's say we don't have a stronger D back there, or a player, and it's a 3-on-1 rush. Sketchy, but fortunately for us, he gathers it up, easy skate in, and goal. No assists. Chinelli goes in and snipes. So this was an interesting play. D to D pass across. Liam calls to go ahead, which I do, and here comes the pause. They've clogged up the middle real good. I was hoping to see maybe one person drives the net, and then someone can stay up high. And I kind of like Fee's kind of cruising in like this, so if someone was able to drive the net, just to draw some people, open up. Really, the whole point is go in, just pull a little bit of people this way, and that kind of opens up as Fee to be like the trigger person. It doesn't always have to be like, it's just whoever that third player is staying high. A little interesting because Mike just stays up way uptown, and obviously that's kind of right D where Hilson's going to be coming to fill in. Interesting, to say the least. If you're going to stay up there, Mike, I would have maybe preferred you coming over here. Now, if Liam's going to stay up there, then I would have wanted to see him down there, right? Kind of all the pieces fit together in this puzzle. Now, because nothing is happening, that's also kind of on me to say, all right, well, no one's going down there. Maybe it's time to make my way downtown and try to create some offense. And Liam's heading down probably could have led him into a play like that. So a lot of options. As a result, this was a pretty poopy pass, but kind of worked out anyways, just because that player was coming in behind him. But yeah, let's see how this pans out. Anyways, oh, stolen. Is this when they scored a goal? No. We're good, we're good. We're good. Oh, safe! I think this one's pretty funny. So there's a hustle right here. Sarah and this guy that's quite a bit larger. More physical, but she just out-muscles the guy. Oh, man. Here's another funny sequence. So Cariana gets it, tries to pass it down, hits the shin guards, fans on it again. Oh, spaghetti-o. And then I guess the moment the first fan happened right there is probably the time that Ernest should say, uh-oh, this might be trouble brewing. And right there, we're a little bit late on the foot race. And luckily for us, Cliff makes the huge save. Boom. Hit. Oh my god. Actually looks like Ernest hits Cliff's left back foot. Ernest stops it, goes back. Oh, that was an Ernest play. Oh man, we thought it was Cliff. Like, Cliff makes the big diving save first of all, and then Ernest makes the big. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one by Ernesto. Big defensive play by Mr. Ernest. Alright, this sequence right here is probably the most frustrating. And all the flybys. All the flybys. Oh man, the positioning is just so bad. So frustrating, so frustrating. And then the worst part is it, like, Cliff, I think Cliff made the save and it bounced off the guy's like hand and back in. It's kind of stupid, but none of this would happen if, I think, positioning wise on the forecheck we made life hard. So Fee does an okay job. Boom, this is the same. We'll call it maybe the Alex pivot for now, just because he was the first example that I used him on. We perfectly are riding the wave like this. Boom, just ride the wave and then force it into the boards, right? And then the mistake is, why are we pivoting backwards like that? for that moment, and then you've lost all the speed. You can't even contain, like, keep up with them. Now at this point, this guy is on the right side of the ice. Our whole job is contain him into this side and force him into the boards, and discourage anything for him to do is come to the middle. And so the problem is, here comes a leap forward, boom, a bit of a flyby, and he goes around. Number 2, again, at this point, because our first mission failed of keeping him on that side, we've got players on this side, and we want to discourage him from coming back this way. So now we want to run him. If you can angle him towards this way, then the defense can meet him, and it'll be easy, right? However, boom, flyby, and he says, oh, okay, let's go back this way. Now, if you were able to just angle, that's all we needed to do. Angle them this way. We don't need to necessarily break it up. We angle them out, and we're using positional and teamwork to kill a play. Then this doesn't happen. Now, this guy has beaten 3 players, and he's in front of them, and it's a 3-on-2. It went from, what did it go from? It went from, we got equal numbers, 4-ish, 3-on-3, right, with a 4th, to now 3-on-2. And then here comes another flyby. The timing was off. I was hoping to get it right before the blue line and force an offside, but yeah, ended up being a flyby, so not good. And so this guy's beaten me. Obviously, the better play is 3-on-2. We just need to keep pace. When we're on a 3-on-2 situation, it's going to be tough. I've said I like using that blue line, but when we're at a numbers disadvantage, you got to kind of sacrifice that. And now our job is to contain outside that box and don't let them near. So if you can maintain a shot on the outside, that is ideal. So I put Hilton in a tough position to begin with there on that flyby. And so this culmination of errors results in a shot. Now the goal itself is a little bit lucky, but for us to even give them a chance like that was just a series of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mistakes all in a row, back to back. And you know, it results in a chance. So 2-2 game. Alright, here's a defensive lapse right here that did not result in a goal against. So clear example, magic spot, pass from behind the net. So they are implementing a overload style strategy quite well, and it also results in an earnest banana peel. But what is the mistake? So chip down low, and I guess there's not enough speed, but Ernest kind of follows him, and rather than covering this player, not sure how I would rank that one, but it's a momentary lapse. Maybe it's Liam's person, but then I understand he's also trying to cover that short side post in case this guy wraps. So maybe Ernest is moving there prematurely. Hard to say. Who was covering 13 originally? That's probably Ernest. So maybe it should have been Ernest going with that, or there had to be a switch where, I don't know. This one's a tough one. It's not very clear, especially how fast it happens with a pass out. Boom, boom. So we got lucky on that one that Cliff makes a save. But you can see who's not covered, not completely certain how it should have been played perfectly. Like perfectly would be when that's trickling down at a snail speed, someone jumps into it, but it's okay. Here's the exact replay, word by word, on the bench from Hillsden. Nice pass, Sarah. Let's go, let's go. You got Alex wide. Not at his feet, Sarah. And that is the play-by-play exact word for word from Hillsden. Alright, this sequence right here, pretty goofy. You know what? Let's rewind it a little bit more. So, no, even more than that. So Sarah gets it, up to Justin. Back down to Sarah. Back up to Justin. Back down to Sarah. And then they've had enough and throw it out front. Okay, let's rewind. Why are we seeing that? Clearly that's the best option, and perhaps the way that our forwards are positioning is not conducive to anything better. Let's see. So, okay. The first move, Ang is down in a okay support position, and big traffic jam right in the middle. So this one's first one's fine, and then that one makes sense. At this point, it doesn't look like Sarah could cut to, like, drive to the middle and go for a shot. Alex is in a pretty shit spot, let's just put it that way. He likes to be right in the laneway where the big guy is. Why are you not finding a lane? Like, get a spot over here, Alex. Get over there. What's going on? Why you gotta pick a place where there's a big, large defenseman in your lane? Now, this is also a opportunity that if Alex decides that he doesn't want that space, weak side D, Ernest, you're free to open up and take that. Like, you're kind of there. You know, it's not bad, but I think you have some freedom to even be more aggressive there. So that's the first sequence. Pass up. It got shut down pretty quick anyways, but that's fine. And this is the perfect opportunity. Perfect opportunity for someone who is able to skate, Chanelli, to boom, skate to the middle. Walk that blue line, boom, 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 backwards crossovers, show us how it's done, and now shit's gonna, like, it's all gonna open up. We got Ernest down at the top of the circles here. Sarah could start floating up to that top of the circles. Got one option, two options, and then Ang could just sneak up, double stack. Right, lots and lots of options. That would have been my number one choice. So right, we got a little delay. If we were able to walk this way, opens up like that. That move, single move right there, opens up everything, the whole can of worms, the whole shabam of jelly beans. But sends it back down to Sarah, and then here's the problem: no options. Like, I would have probably preferred Alex up here, and then here kind of like opens up, or he can easily just skate over here and kind of start a reverse cycle where Ang's, like how Sarah moved from here down to here, and then Alex can rotate to here, and then Ang can rotate to here. So it starts kind of like a reverse cycle. Instead, he just camps out there and gets his stick lifted for days. I don't know, they're playing like magic wands, studying at the School of Hogwarts. And, you know, it's that sequence is just disappointing. So this got a little scary. The game's tied right now, 2-2, and Chanelli already scored. Takes a rifle of a shot from all the way back there. Now if he scored, that's a penalty. No nachos for us. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, this whole sequence, starting from here, is just confusing. So, where do I even start? Okay. Ernest gets the puck, possibly could have lost it there, and so center and Well, left wing's already on, so center is gone for the change, and I guess Sarah's filling for it. That's fine. And then Ernest decides to gun up the ice for some reason, and so he's way out of position. So Sarah's filling for right D now. That's fine. Ernest, I guess he wanted to go for a change, but realized, yeah, that's probably not a good idea, so that's fine. And so Sarah's filling in, and now Liam's on ice, so Sarah should be on the left wing position now that Liam's on the ice. And Hilsden and Ernest have swapped defensively, and okay, alright, understood now. Sarah's down there battling with 71 now. This is like physicality dialed up to the maximum. So stick lift, cross Jesus, this is like yeah, she's turned that dial of physicality from 0 all the way to 95. But the only problem is, because she's helping out down there, nobody's covering up on the point, which is normally the left wing position, but Sarah's down there. And then the backdoor, it's suspicious. Again, no left wing, has to get a block shot. And then so now we've sorted that out, and puck's out of the zone, but it's a little discombobulations going on here. Alright, we got another series of disappointing offensive zone time, and the puck movement is good, but it's disappointing because no chances come out of it. There's no threat, no noticeable threat, and let's watch it. I can rewind and break it down after the fact, but you can see it's like the movement is going around, a lot of people skating around, a lot of passing, a lot of puck movement. Like the puck's moving around the zone really well. That was really weird. Justin's going for the change, and it's committed, right? He's at the door, Mike's hopping on, and we got so freaking lucky there that we did not get called for too many men. Yeah, that was so lucky, unbelievably lucky. But okay, so let's rewind. What could we have done better on a lot of things? So the first one, pass across, a little bit off the mark, and Justin couldn't get a shot on. That's fine. Pass up to here. Right here could have been an opportunity to get a shot, but Ernest couldn't settle it down, so back down in the corner. That's fine. Right here is a stack that I don't like positionally wise. Where's the triangle? Key thing is just where's the triangle? We got double stacked up positionally, so not so great. And let's continue. Sophie's getting hounded behind the net now, so that's fine. Right here should have been, if Eng, all you needed to do was probably shift up this way to here, rather than, like, you can see how he's fanning out wider and wider, wider. Boom, right here. Now he doesn't have a shot opportunity anymore. It's too wide. Well, let's just say that the angle is suboptimal. So if you just rather skated instead of backwards, just boop, squared it forward a little bit. Right here in this time zone, gonna be in a really nice spot for you to shoot, and I think you would have gotten it before this player and this player could react, and I think a lot of good angles right there. So that's probably the big opportunity on this shift that I think we missed. but he tries to feed it down to Justin, hits like 13 body parts. Drop past the Fee, that's fine. Again, right here, Justin and Eng got that double stack formation. I want to see, like, I think triangles are the key here, of course. And so that's another wasted opportunity. Moving across. And this was just weird. Almost got a penalty by Justin there. And then icing. Alright, this play right here, Mike says, let me do it myself all over again. Skating up hard. The guy's chasing him. Hucks it to the net. And he scores. Definitely should have been a penalty, but I think they give it to Sarah. She did not score it by her words, so Mike with the goal, no assists. Alright, so Liam's coming in, and then this player knocks him down, tripping, goes flying into the boards, and we got ourselves a power play. Let's watch the whole thing. I remember it not being great. Alex tries to shoot it for the in front of the net for Sarah to tip it in, perhaps. Moves it back, Sarah to Hilson, Hilson to Sarah. The whole I think it's the same thing with that triangle. No one's really in this nice magic spot that Sarah can pass to. And then I guess Sarah's body positioning does not able to see on this area. Fortunately for us, we got two quiet guys, Alex and Eng, that were back there, and they don't like to say I'm here, I'm here. So that's unfortunate. 71 is so fast, holy smokes. Big save by Cliff. And here we go. Drop pass to Alex, sends it across. Oh, tough, 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 tough. Take it in. Try to go for Liam, hits the shin guards, terrible shot. Thankfully Hilson is able to catch up and break down the play. Another block shot. Prevent a wraparound opportunity now. It is 30 seconds left on that power play. Let's see if we got again. I think I get another shot blocked. Which is terrible. Oh no, I think we go for a change. Let's keep going. Pass up to Janelli, sends it down low. So maybe puck movement is like, I think a bit of, no one is willing to sit into that high slot area for kind of like the power play opportunities. Notably here, like for some reason Liam kept cruising closer and closer to Sarah, versus I think if he stayed up here maybe would have resulted in a chance. And then here she finally tries to drive it, but then kind of got shut down by a couple players. Rewinding, another opportunity was here. Yeah, definitely the shot attempt was terrible. I think the play would have been probably get back further towards the blue line. I think the mistake was coming down so low towards that red line. And I don't think anything happened. Like here, again, walking that blue line probably would open some avenues. So a little bit of disappointment on this power play. Maybe too many people in front of the net. So that's our power play. Alright, more offensive zone times. I don't recall if much happened. So I guess same situation. We have a big line of forwards again. I guess the unique situation is Mike has scored already twice. But his hustle is able to keep the puck in the zone. And so let's continue watching. Shot. I think I've been watching too much Ernest on reviews and getting my shots blocked multiple times this game. It's quite disappointing. Mike with the big hustles, keeping it in the zone each time, always on number 7. And then big opportunity right there, but oh, stick tied up. I need more days at the gym to outmuscle this guy. Puck movement again is like good, but I think the chances are lacking, and I think a lot of it is, again, no one is like this prime real estate. I feel like we need someone on our forward group to camp out there, or at least kind of like pass through it more often. You see how they're always in front of the net, whereas if they can get to maybe a rewind in that prime opportunity, more chances will develop. So maybe that's a common theme this week for offense. Alright, so we got an incoming disaster. But let's just watch the fun. A forced pass. The sequence before. So nothing since it's back down low. Alex got it. And then definitely could have moved the puck around a bit more. But forced pass, blocked out. Not good. And then big mistake I've pinpointed before is the stop momentum. I guess the dream is to keep it in, but the safe play is poke check, continue skating backwards, poke check, especially because we got players coming out this way. You fuck it up, you're in big trouble. Guess what? I fucked it up, we're in big trouble. So now play killed by Hilton, but late by me on the stick lift, and it was rolling. It just kept rolling. The stick lifts continue, and then it just kept bouncing to where we do not want it to be. And sad news is it's now in the back of the net. Depression has now set in. Disaster. It is now 3-3. And right after that starts the third period. Face-off loss. A little bit of pressure there, and big speed coming in by 71. Dekes out, Ernest, and goal. Could we have done anything better? Let's recap. Let's see. Pressure. Tries to poke check it. Unfortunate bounce. Maybe we've given up too much space here for that zone entry, but he's fast, and so poke check. Snipe. That's a tough one. And so it is now 4-3 for the No Dekes. Alright, we're about to witness a very sketchy play. So big dump in from middle of the ice. The rebound bounce out. Oh my god. I don't know, Chinelli. He did ask for that A+ review, but saved by Ernest. That's crazy. That's like 2 goals that Ernest saved. Not bad, not bad. Alright. Face off right here. Win by Eng. Send it back down low. Mike gets it, sends it out front. Boom, one-timer. And we got ourselves a tie game right here. Alright, so I didn't realize how strong of a player 71 was until watching this clip. So, face-off loss, a little bit of pressure, get to 71. And I think we do it a fairly okay job putting pressure on him at the blue line. Fortunately, he gets the puck and he cuts back like this. So pretty skilled, but this is where the surprise was. So Hilsden's fast guy, but holy shit, is this guy quick. Catches up, set 3 and 71 just pins Hilsden to the boards, and they go flying in there. So yeah, I mean, I knew he was fast, but he had the hands too, so interesting. I think small note right here, mostly for Fee. Boom, triangle formation, excellent, right, with Mike and Eng, and Fee covering that high slot. And she was in a really awesome spot, like really good in this general area. And this minor shift, where I guess she's trying to go more center position, is what is the difference in my opinion that ruined her chances of getting a shot. So this was, I would say, right here was perfect, and it's still a pretty good angle, right? Nice. Got lots of room to shoot at with the net. And when she moved to here is where she, I guess it ruined it, because now she put herself in a lane where this guy can intercept it, versus if she was here, maybe 71 could intercept, but it was just a way bigger laneway that Mike could get it to her. And the angle is still really, really good. Alright, I thought this was hilarious. So, you know what, let's do a little rewind. Puck comes out of the zone, couldn't quite keep it in. And we're going back for a reset, people going for a change. I should have identified that and went all the way back behind the net, but I passed it off to Eng, thinking he might be able to come up. But didn't quite realize it was near the end of his shift. So he passes it off to Mike, and Mike just fucking wires it all the, like, for an icing call. All he needed to do was pass the blue line. Just pass the blue line and huck it down, and we won't have an icing call. Here's another sequence of interesting defensive positioning. Before we talk about that, Ernest almost tips it into our own net. Fascinating, but anyways, we try to break it out. Forechecking pressure is too strong, so they turn it over. That's fine. This guy takes it behind the net, and I guess the continuation of Sarah playing more of a center defensive role rather than a left wing, and I guess Liam's also playing more left wing-ish. And we see people are chasing behind the net. Not usually what we want to do, but we could if we want to, just one. But we can see how 1, 2 forwards left open, and funny enough, I would say Sarah's the one that's closest to defending compared to all of our other players that should have been defending. But Cliff makes the save. Alright, I had to make this clip was absolutely special. I don't know if Ernest just wanted to bake an entire pizza extra large, the freshest pizza imaginable, What are you doing? You're one-timering it to here? Through the pizza zone? And nobody's there? Like, that's crazy talk here. What the fuck? And then, to make matter worse, you fan on it so that this guy picks it up with ease. So, imagine Sarah's not there bumping up this guy, which I'd say normally we want her to come up here and Justin would be the one defending, but that's kind of besides the point. Oh my god. Alright, so we finally know what happened to Justin. Oh, that's a big one. Fuck. So he's coming in and do a drop pass to Liam and not quite off the mark, and then this guy's stick comes up, just trying to lift it over. I guess didn't seem malicious, but oh, right in the eyeball. That's gotta hurt. And we say, we all say he's a brave man for not going for full face protection, especially in this lower level hockey where we all suck. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff, but now with video we know what happened. So here is a big sequence coming up that will result in Kevin's goal. So his first attempt comes in like that, so he's going in, and I guess first note is I read that a little bit wrong. I should be here. I thought I was gonna, I don't know, I thought maybe Aang was covering, and I didn't realize that Carrie Ann was behind me. So I'm on the wrong side of the ice, and so they kind of get a free zone entry, and it's a 3-on-2 situation that fortunately gets cut off and killed by Justin there. Bumps it up, and Hilton gets try number 2. Threads it through, uses this player as a screen. Snipe shot. Assist by Justin, goal by Hilsden. 5-4. And this is when they're like, he scored already, he scored already. He scored already. Maybe Hilsden looks like Mike. Who knows? Just because they're white, as Hilsden says. But with video evidence, this is Hilsden's first goal. Oh, we got a fun little sequence. Why don't we watch the whole thing from start to finish? D to D pass, I like it. Pass up, a little bit off the mark. And so No Deeks' good player has it. Number 3. Loses Mike. Comes down, no pressure on our forwards. Does a fancy behind the back pass. But Fee is able to get a turnover, pass up to Mike, pass up to Liam. Now that gets a turnover. I think the problem here was just the bunching, where Mike probably should have been over here, and the pass to Liam would have been fine, and then another pass across to Mike would have been how we can move it across, but awkward, right? So Mike being a right wing, all of a sudden going on the left side, kind of killed that. Oh, that's a terrible time to fall. I remember this, but I didn't catch it. Oh my god. It just looks like you went for a nap. What is that even? And then 71 comes in, diving block. So very eventful so far. And then Justin Chinelli gets it, passes up to Liam. Clear one way, dekes out the goalie, and now 6-4. Pass, assist by Chinelli. So we have a goal against coming up in a little bit, but Let's watch the whole sequence build up, and we can make some comments along the way. So right here is, I think, a little bit unfortunate how this guy got a free zone entry. I think ideally we need, so the whole purpose of this back pressure is you're trying to keep him on a single lane, and then I think ideally if we can put the right D would put pressure on this player, and if not necessarily stop them, try to force them to dump it and chase it. So free zone entry, right? Which is unfortunate. And then so they get in all the way, and then a pass out front. So a couple dangerous chances right there for scramble, and then shot, misses the net, and off to the corner. So pass, couldn't quite receive it. Is there anything we can make a note for this breakout? I guess Alex would have been the pass, clean pass, rather than sending it to the pizza zone. Okay, continuing. So this guy, wow, Sarah's able to body number 39. He's a big guy too. Shot, possibly blocked or deflected, misses the net. And then here is the big doo-doo. Defensively, so Ang's covering 9, Hilson covering 7, blocked. Sarah's on 48, and I guess I should be helping out too, as Ang's already got number. I think naturally it would have been like Sarah continues with this player. So like if we rewind it back here, Sarah would continue with 39, and then Ang's already paired up with 9, and then I would go and cover 48, Hilson with number 7, and it should be fine and dandy. So then the mistake is we have 48 left open for just a brief moment. Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O, magic spot. We all know it, my favorite. And snipe, post, and in. It was a good shot, but unfortunately uncovered defensively. Probably mostly my fault there on that one. And so it's 6-5. Alright, so 2 minutes and a half left. I could probably just make a continuous and make comments. So defensive coverage, again, it's really awkward. Gets confusing maybe as a defender when you have so many bodies in front of that. So we got center and our left wing, Sarah, hustling. I know we're trying to defend lead, but you know, it's very weird when you have a left wing on the right D backside corner. So at like this point, like, what do I do? Do we position ourselves to cover the wing position? I'm not entirely sure. So we got lucky, it rolled out there, but certainly confusing. So minute 30 left. Justin's trying to keep it in the zone. I think one thing you could try to do if you're trying to kill time, Justin, is bring it towards the boards and then pin it up. But you know, I don't think it was anything wrong there per se, but just possible shitty backhand whack, but able to get it out of the zone. And yeah, Hilson did mention this, like, because they're all offside, I had time to kill it, But I thought I saw a big opportunity. Like Eng is way ahead of all the defenders with a lead pass, but then I forgot that he already scored, so it wouldn't have even mattered. But if I was able to hit that, I think would have been a good chance. And if he hadn't already scored already, but it's a good point that Hilson said. They're offside. I could definitely have killed like a good 10-15 seconds just circling around. I guess the risk is if they took it off of me and touched it, it does mean it's a face-off right outside our zone. So I don't know. It is a trade-off. Minute left. Pass up. Good interception by Liam. Back to Chinelli. Killing time here, so that's good. And I think ideally I would have also liked to see Ernest back. So we've said the diagonal kind of format, being able to move it back if we really need to. We just don't want to leave the guy with the puck as the last man back. Good stretch pass to Mike to carry in. Okay, big pass up. See if what we got here, what kind of action in the last 48 seconds. So Liam's got it, cut back, resets, kills time. Oh, Mike, who was that to? Alright, so number 7, and this is where Mike kind of gets hurt. He comes in, poke check, and then skate on skate, and oh, that's a tough one. And looks like the way he fell, maybe kind of hyperextended or pulled his left knee back towards him. So that sucks. And obviously number 7 didn't really do anything. It was kind of like Mike's left skate, the other player's right skate, and they're both doing the Macarena. And yeah, luckily I don't think, it just looks like it got dragged a little bit behind and nothing bent in ways that it shouldn't have bent. Probably just slightly pulled it, I'm hoping. But that's unfortunate for Mike. Hopefully he's not out for too long, if any time at all. Yeah, and let's show some other funny stuff. I remember we're all talking, and then so I want to see the Justin incident. They're chatting. And then the other guy pushed him, and then they're just talking. I guess I see why. So they're just talking, and then I see. So he just kind of bumped into him, so he thought maybe they're picking a fight, but that's funny. Alright, well, 6-5. Oh, and then this guy looks upset. Anyways, 6-5. Pretty high scoring game. Not our best defensive effort. Yeah, fun game though.